Oops. Hang on. What the hell am I doing over on Instagram? I'm frozen. What am I doing? Hang on. Hello, everybody. I'm in the story feature. What are you doing, woman? I'm just going to have to go live without a title. We'll just go live. That's funny. Now I'm live. Hello, Instagram. Finally worked you out. Hello, everybody. Oh, that's uncanny, isn't it? I'm here to talk about live video and getting on live video and tips and tricks to conquer live video. And I completely stuffed up the beginning of my own live video. But if I can make a point out of that, what does that just show you? You can do anything and go live, and it seriously doesn't matter. That was completely accidental, but I completely stuffed up the beginning of that. But it just doesn't matter. So what I'm going to share with you is tips and tricks around live. Like, how many of you are holding yourself back from putting content out there? And when I say live, like this is clear cut live, like it's a clear cut example of live video, but I'm also talking about stories. When you put stories, that's right, you don't need to be perfect. Hey, Jen, good to see you on. I miss you too. Sorry, I'm having a chat over on Instagram here. What was my point? Jen, you put me off. I lost my train of thought. Right, okay, now it's back. I'm like, this is live video. So yes, this is what I'm talking about, live video. But when I'm saying live, I'm also talking about, do you go into your stories live? Do you just like chat in your stories and talk in your stories? Are you doing reels? Do you do any talking in reels? Are you showing up on reels? So when I say tips and tricks to conquer live, I'm actually talking about all kind of aspects of content that require you to show your face. How many of you are hiding behind not showing your face? How many of you are not going live because you've got issues around who's going to listen to me, or I'm not good looking enough, or I'm not skinny enough, or I'm not this and I'm not that, and who's going to listen to me, and blah, 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 blah. Who suffers with that? Share with me in the comments. Go, yes, that's me. I'd love to know. That's all right, Jen. It's good to see you on. Oh, hey, Valerie. Thank you for identifying who it was behind the Instagram channel there. It's good to see you on, Valerie. Okay. And my Facebook friends here, we've got Shirley, Suzette, Tim. Good to see you on. The irony, I know, Tim. Hey, Matthew. Hi, Dean. Yeah, this is it. Like Shirley's mentioned it on Facebook. It makes you more relatable. When I actually, and I promise you, it was not, that was not actually, what's the word I'm looking for? That little stuff up then at the beginning of my video was not planned. I actually was sitting in front of Instagram and I didn't realize I wasn't in the live section. So I actually, when I pressed the button to go live, I took a photograph of myself because I wasn't on the live section. I was on the phone. So completely stuff up. But when you see me stuff up, does that not make it easier for you to think, well, if she can make mistakes and roll with it, maybe I can too? Like, does it not make me a little bit more relatable to you if I'm not absolutely perfect? And I'm far from perfect. I make mistakes all the time. Those of you that know me really well, I've got my own Helen Martin dictionary. I make up words. I say things back to front, especially when I've talked a lot. Like, it'll probably happen in this video because I've already been, what have I done? I've already done a Zoom call with my network marketing team, and I've done a presentation for my network marketing team, and I've just come on live. So this is my third talking thing straight in the last hour and a half. Like, and when I do that, I get tongue-tied and I make mistakes. Okay, that's a good point, Dean. I'm okay with being on camera. I just struggle with the content to put in it. So I've got 5 tips for you guys. Okay, so I want you to listen to these 5 tips. And number 1, please don't take any offense because I'm going to call it like it is. But number 1 out of 5, I'm just going to say some things that might hit home. So just know that I say things with love. I say it with love. Sometimes some people just need a little polite kick up the, behind. So I do Reels and YouTube, but live scares the heck out of me. So what's the difference? Do you know how many times I say And I didn't realize how many times I say until I was putting captions on my TikToks and Reels. And so it transcribes what you're saying. And it felt like every second word was It's like, I didn't realize I said that much. Do you guys care? Like, really? Like, no one cares. And this is the number one thing out of the 5, which I'll get to in a second. You know how I feel about live videos. Yeah, I know how you feel about live videos. We'll get into the techie stuff. Okay, so first one out of 5, these 5 things. Okay, first one, said with love. If you are holding yourself back from live videos because of things like imposter syndrome or what you look like, or all those kind of things, am I going to be good enough? That's just 100% your ego. You got to get out of your own way. You are holding yourself back for the wrong reasons. When you live your life with the kind of thought like, who can I help today? What can I inspire somebody with today? What message can I share with the world today that's going to put a smile on their face or help them today? When you come from that place, that is a much better place to exist on social media with, rather than I hate going live because I don't like the way that I look. I don't like the way that I talk. I'm worried I'm going to say too much. I'm worried that I'm going to say, see, I'm saying it now. I'm worried that I'm going to say the wrong words. I'm worried that I'm going to stumble. People resonate with your mess more than they resonate with your perfection. 100%. The more mistakes you actually make, the more relatable you are to your audience. Do you realize that? And if you're holding yourself back because you're worried about all those kind of things, your ego needs to come down a notch, because it's not about you. Me going live right now, nothing to do with me. I'm here to help you. Why do I go live 3 days a week for free and come and give you amazing training? My coaching community members, the training I did for you yesterday on Practical Reels, imagine if I wouldn't go live and deliver that kind of training to you. None of you would learn half the stuff that you would know from me if I didn't go live. Would that affect some of you? Absolutely it would. So I had to get out of my own way, feel like an imposter syndrome and feel like crap and look like an idiot, is what I thought in the beginning. But you only get better if you do it. And if you come from the right place with who can I inspire today? Who can I help today? What can I share today? You come from that place rather than what do I look like today? And I wonder if I'm going to say too much today. And, I wonder if I'm going to look like an idiot today. That is just your ego. Get over yourself. There's people waiting to hear from you. There is people waiting for you to help them. There are billions of people on social media that need you. And you're not showing up because of your ego. Okay, just a little bit of a reality check, said with love. Some of you just need to get over yourself, because nobody really cares that much about you and the way that you look and the amount of times you say They really don't. You turn up and you give great value and you share inspiring things with people, or just entertain people and make them laugh, no matter what you look like or how many times you say That's what it's all about. Nobody's really caring about the things that you are stopping yourself going live for. They're not, because they're worried about themselves. You're worried about yourself, which means everybody else is worried about themselves. Nobody's worried about you that much. Nobody is thinking about all your ums. Nobody is thinking about all the things that you're thinking about. It's just your ego. You want to look good. You want to turn up perfect. Nobody cares. Get over yourself. Okay, I'll move on. Said with love. Always, guys, said with love. Okay. Number 2, when you know your brand, like, it gets a lot easier. When you know what you're there for, when you know who you serve, your target market, your niche, your, what problems you're solving people, it's a lot easier. So do you know that? Maybe you don't know who your target market is. Maybe you don't know who you serve. Maybe you don't really know what problems you solve. You're a little bit all over the place still. So if you want to have some confidence with going live and sharing things with people, know what you're on about. Know your own personal brand. Completely different training topic. I won't go on a tangent because I so easily could. But when you know who it is that you help and what you help them with, the content becomes a lot easier. Don't overthink it. Some of you need to talk to a previous version of yourself. What were you struggling with? What did you want to know? What did you need help with? So totally different training topic that I could literally sit for an hour here and talk to you about, but I won't. I'll move on to number 3. That's what will make it easier for you when you're dialed in and you know your personal brand. Things like live videos will get easier because you'll have more confidence in what you're talking about. If you've got no confidence in what you're talking about, there's a few questions that you need to ask around that, but don't overthink it. And here's something I learned. I always put a lot of pressure on myself. I mean, I came from corporate. So, there's a certain level of professionalism that comes with corporate. I wore suits every day and I had to lobby politicians all the time. And I was a young general manager. So I had to hold my own with men all the time around a boardroom table. And, it was intimidating half the time, but I had to pull that off. And there was a certain level of professionalism I had to have in that corporate environment. Okay? Doesn't work here. If I'm that person here, you'd probably say, like, loosen up, woman. Like, who are you and what are you talking about? Like, it's the quicker that you can, just find your feet and talk natural and, just be you and find your own personal brand. I completely forgot what I was going to talk about then. There was a point I was going to make. And I can't even remember what it was. But anyway, number 1 is your ego. I'll check back in. Number 2, know your personal brand. It gets easier when you know what you're showing up for and helping people with, okay? I'll just move on. Oh, no, I'll look at my notes. So you can have notes. Those of you that struggle with live, you don't have to talk off the cuff. You can have notes. Just don't hide notes. Don't turn up and do a live video and go, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Like, they don't read. People don't turn up to live videos to hear you read. But I have notes. And this is as elaborate as I get. Okay? Here's my notes. I'm not a wasteful person. So let me share with you the silly thing. Now I've dropped my notes. The silly things that I do. So this is what we call in Australia A4 sheet of paper. I don't know what you call it in different countries, just a normal sheet of paper. So let's say this is my previous workbook. That was just the thing standing next to me. And let's say I've finished with it. I won't screw this up and put it in the bin. I will fold it in half and I will use the back side of this piece of paper. And so you should see, like, my desk and that, I've got reams and reams of paper this size that, like, I don't throw anything away. So I use, see, here's, don't look too hard, that's financials. Did you guys know that I still do part-time accounting work? Yes, I do. So that's, I won't show you, you might zoom in and look at that, but that's somebody's financial information on the back of that. So I just write all my notes, that handwritten notes, just handwritten notes, every single live video I do. I don't hide that from you. I don't need to hide that from you. You don't need to worry about having notes, but don't read notes. Just use notes as triggers. So I've got my 5 points written down here to keep me on track. Okay, nothing wrong with having notes. If you struggle with what you're going to say, have notes. But just don't try to hide the fact that you've got notes. You don't need to hide the fact that you've got notes. Make sense? So on my notes, back to that, one of the things, like, with knowing your brand and showing up, do you remember, those of you that have done training with me for a while, the 5 E's? That's the kind of content that you want to put out there. So just to speed up this video, because I've still got stuff to get through. The 5 E's, write these down. Entertaining content, empowering content, emotional content, and that's not woe is me, I'm upset. That's connecting with people on an emotional level, by connecting with your audience by sharing emotion. People are bombarded with information. Do not give more information to people. Don't turn up on your live videos and just give people more and more and more information. Share it with personality, share it with empathy, share it with emotion, share what it means to you. So there is emotion behind your content. That's what I mean by emotion, not I'm upset today. Okay. Fourth one is engaging, and the fifth one is education. So let me read them again. Entertaining content, empowering content, content with emotion in it, engaging content and engagement type posts, asking for engagement, asking how you going with this video so far, leave me a comment, put the word tree down below. Let's see how many of you write the word tree. Like, ask for engagement. It's just a bit of a joke. And educating people, valuable content. People will stay with you when you cover those things. Okay, that's the kind of content you want to put out there. When you're doing live video, it's like, I've got no idea what to say. I've got no idea what kind of content to put out there. Start with the 5 E's. Okay, so that's, I'm going backwards now. Number 1 was ego. Number 2 is knowing your brand. Number 3, huge one with live video. Share. Don't dictate. Share. Don't tell. Or another way to put it, educate. Don't lecture. So people that, you know, the imposter syndrome and all that kind of stuff, when you turn up on live video and go, here's my 5 tips to do X, Y, Z, and you must do this, and you must do that, and you blah, 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 and there's your 5 tips, people are like, who the hell is she or he? So if you're at the beginning of your journey and you're just starting to do live videos, then you can say things, look, I'm not the expert. I'm just learning. But what I've learned has really helped me in this way. So maybe if you tried to do what I've done, it could help you too. So just as a suggestion, you could try X, Y, Z. So I'm sharing that information with you. So when you share and recommend, people will listen to you more than when you try to turn up on as an expert and give all this information, but you do it in a way where you're talking at people, you're telling people, you're just delivering information. People will get skeptical of you and they will judge you. But if you show up and deliver your content in a way that's like, this is something that I just, you know, I read this and this might help you too because it helped me. Now you're sharing. That lands totally differently than when you talk at your audience. So have a conversation with your audience. Don't talk at your audience. When you have that kind of strategy, it's easier to do live videos because you don't feel judged and you're not delivering it in a way where you'll get judgment. Make sense? Okay, that was number 4. Number 5, there is technical stuff that will slip you up. Every one of you. You will have technical issues when it comes to live videos. See, I'm even showing this the strap on my jumper. You know, who cares? Anyway, moving on. The tech stuff. You might not see comments. You might see comments. You might be portrait instead of landscape or vice versa. You might not be able to do it. Christina, if she's still watching, she's being told she can't go live by Facebook at the moment for no apparent reason. She wants to go live, but it won't let her go live. Like, there's all sorts of technical stuff that might slip you up. Don't let that put you off, unless you actually physically can't do it. Just navigate and roll with it and look for solutions. A good entrepreneur doesn't complain. A good entrepreneur looks for solutions, no matter what's going on. Don't let the tech frustrate you. If the first time you do a live video, you don't know what buttons to push, fair enough. Just roll with it. You've got to learn somehow. Just fail forward. The first time I did a TikTok live, I had no idea how to end it. Some people do live videos and still don't know how to end it. It was funny. I was sitting there going, I've got no idea how to end, because it's totally different when you do a TikTok live than a Facebook live. I've done Facebook lives for years. You just push a button that says end. So there's all sorts of technical stuff that might scare you. And I swear sometimes people hold themselves back from going live just because you don't know which buttons to push. Some of you are not doing reels just because you don't know how to put them together. You don't know which buttons to push. By the way, if you're in my coaching community, yesterday and last week I did practical reels training part 1 and part 2. Yesterday I did part 2, and I shared all my golden nuggets with you about which buttons I push, how I put covers on, how I pre-record different things and upload things. I've given you all that training. Imagine if I wouldn't go live and deliver that training. All the people in my coaching community would miss out on all those golden nuggets. Like I'm telling you, people are waiting for you guys to show up more and help them with whatever it is that you help people with. Okay? So number 5, the best way to conquer live video or even talking to stories or reels or something, the best thing you can do, it took me a little bit of a while to get there with this one, but just be authentically, genuinely you. Flaws, mix-ups, looks, just be you. Do not try to be anyone else but you. Do not try to be me. Do not try to be anyone else that you see online. Your biggest asset is your personality, because there's no one like you out there. When you try to turn up and do live videos like everybody else that you see, or you see someone go, oh, they're so confident in live video, I'll do what they do. It's not you. Like, model yourself off other people for sure. But your personality, your quirks, your voice, your intricacies, your, like, if it's your personality to swear a little bit, like, be you. That will attract people to you that vibe with you, and it will repel people that don't like that. And that is a very good thing. You don't want to be ho-hum. You want to attract your people that resonate with you. Your personality will draw that out, as well as your niche market and all that kind of stuff. But you being you, you will attract people like you. If you're not genuinely, authentically being you, and you're being what we call vanilla, you won't attract anybody. So if you've got little flaws, or you look a certain way that you don't like, it doesn't matter. It makes you unique. So the quicker you can actually turn up, push the buttons, fail forward, go live with all the other 5 tips that I've mentioned, like know your personal brand, share, don't tell, get your ego out of the way, and just be genuinely, authentically you. Amazing. Now you're going to start to attract more people to you because you're being you and you're not trying to be somebody that you're not. Don't try to turn up live and give all these tips about something that you're not really au fait with. You deliver it in a way where, I'm learning to, lose weight, maybe, if you haven't. And this is something I learned. It may be helpful to you too. Like, you share it in a way where it's genuine and authentic to your journey, your story, and it's still helpful to other people. Okay? Is this helpful to anybody? These 5 things that I've mentioned. Are these light bulb moments to anybody? Does this inspire any of you to just get out of your own way a little bit? And even if it's not full-blown lives like I'm doing right now, go into your stories and push the camera and share something in your stories. It disappears within 24 hours. Who cares if you make a mistake? But just get a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera. Now, you can pre-record reels and put them up. Like, you've got an opportunity to delete and pre-record, but show yourself on camera. If you're not going live in any capacity anywhere, you are putting a wall up to your growth on social media. If you want to speed up the results, there is no faster way to speed up your results than being consistent with showing your face and people hearing your voice, because that's what builds trust. So if you're not going live, if you're not showing your face, if people can't hear your voice, the know, like, and trust takes a lot longer to achieve. So get brave, get over yourself, get over your ego, and find opportunities and ways to show your face and let people hear your voice around your sort of brand, your niche market. You'll make connections a lot quicker. And in this industry that we're here, that I'm talking about with social selling or whatever, there is no question that we are in a relationship business, are we not? We're in a relationship business. The quicker you can build rapport with your audience, the quicker you can attract people to you. My whole motto is not only be a human before a marketer. You should know that about me. It's the ABC of social selling. You've got to attract people to you, build a brand so you can build your influence, but then you've got to convert people to a sale of some sort, whether that's a client, a customer, or a team member. And you can't convert unless you've attracted people to you. How do you attract people to you? You've got to let them get to know you. If you're behind 100% Canva created posts and memes and all that kind of stuff, how do I get to know, like, and trust you? You've got you've got a sales funnel out there, but you've got no audience to attract the sales funnel to, because you're not attracting anybody to you. I've said enough now. Okay, Valerie says, yes, having conversations online like you are doing now is working for me. Thank you for teaching this. Even when I'm not doing a live video, my voice is still conversational. Awesome. Now, do you get the sense from me right now? I can't see any of you. You're just names and words. I can see Christina, Shirley, Anne. You've left me some comments. I can't physically see you. I can't see the guys on Instagram here, but do you feel like I'm having a conversation with you? Because I feel like I'm having a conversation with you, but I'm actually looking at myself. I'm looking at me there and there. I can't see any of you, but I actually feel like, isn't that weird? I actually feel like I'm having a conversation with you, even though you're not talking back to me and I can't see any of you. Do you feel like I'm having a conversation with you? That's what I mean about being real, raw, and authentic, and sharing, and not just educating you, having a one-way conversation. Have a conversation with your audience. Talk to them. I often, people say to me when that they do lives, it's like, well, it was a big fat zero. Nobody was watching when I was live, so I kind of didn't ask for engagement. Nobody watching the replay ever knows that you didn't have anybody watching when you were live. And most people catch the replay of live videos. They don't watch you live. So for the fact that nobody that watches the replay knew that nobody was on when you were live, why wouldn't you ask for engagement, even if you've got a big fat zero and nobody's watching you live? Because you still want engagement from the replay viewer who didn't know that you didn't have anybody watching you live. You following? So treat every live video like you've got 100 people watching. And ask for the engagement. If you get engagement from a replay viewer, fantastic. They could leave a comment while you're sleeping. Fantastic. But they won't leave a comment unless you ask for the engagement. So don't let 0 followers on a live video throw you off. You always want to ask for engagement. Okay? I think I've talked long enough. What do you reckon? Time to get off. Yeah, I'm not sure what's wrong with me today, Christina. I'm feeling a bit sassy today. I'm not sure why that is. But yeah, I'm just a little bit fired up. I think, I just want to see more of you break through the ego that I know holds you back, but no one's really thinking about you as much as you think they're thinking about you. So I see all these people hold themselves back, but there's people that need you. They need you to go live. They need you to be scared. They need you to fail forward. They need you to make mistakes like I do. It's okay. Stop holding yourself back. You can build your business faster if you get out of your own way. Okay? So I will leave it there. Thank you for those of you that are on live or catch the replay to this. I hope this has just inspired you in some little way to do a little bit more than what you're doing now. Okay? So this is my last live video for the week. Coaching community members, watch that recording from yesterday regarding the Reels training. It was a good one. And I will look forward to seeing you guys next week for more great training. Have an amazing weekend. I'll see you next week. Bye.